All right, what up, everybody? Anthony here, just Anthony. Paul's on a gig today, so it's just going to be me. But we have a great guest. You know what? I'm just going to call him. You're the honorary co-host for this episode. The fans, the listeners know him, right? His name is Matt Pelosi. You guys know Matt Pelosi, amazing producer. But yeah, Matt and I are become pretty awesome buds. He's one of my best friends, so it's great to have him back on. And yeah, man, we have a lot to talk about. You have like an interesting. There's a lot to talk about, but you have just a very interesting experience that you had within the last, I guess year. We don't even have to jump into it right away, but
2-3 years now. Yes, everything.
2-3 years,
but
right?
I guess I would say there's been an action-packed year for sure.
Mm-hmm. Just in general, right? It's funny.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
The last time that last episode or the first episode you did was like, dude, it was like we weren't even in the pandemic yet.
No, that was way before we even knew what a pandemic was.
It might have been like January of 2020. That's when we recorded.
Yeah, that was way back. Like, I'm trying to think. Way back. I was in a different mind frame production world, too. I was so in the box, which is interesting. Yeah, that was... Because I can, like, gauge my life off of, like my techniques that I'm using. You know what I mean? When you, like, learn a technique and it changes your life. Like, that's how much of a nerd I am. And I remember I was very distinctly... My workflow is, like, very mouse-oriented, and now it's, like, completely changed.
Yeah, man. You if anybody wants to, if you haven't listened to Matt's first episode, go listen to it. Just because he demonstrates how fast he works. You're using Ableton Live, right? So you could produce a song and like a substantial idea of a song very quickly. I mean, very quickly, scarily quickly.
That's what you got to do, man.
But what I like about you is that you're also equally obsessed with instruments.
Yeah,
and you value instruments.
Yeah, that was first. Yeah, it was interesting because I had to like leave the instruments behind to learn how to be a music producer. And like when I first started drumming, I was like 8 years old. Like I always wanted to. I was a drummer, but I'd always see like guitar players and piano players and be like, that's some like voodoo shit. Like how do I don't even think I can do that. And then it took me to go be a producer and then like learn about music theory to be like, wow, I actually think I could do that stuff decades later, But it took me in and out of that. And then at the end of the road, like you learn everything you can about production. And you're like, well, I just want to go back to playing instruments. It's crazy because that's all I generally want to do lately. So it's actually interesting.
I watched you over the course of how many months it's been, where every time I saw you, like because we work at the same school, we teach at the same school. So when you're not teaching, I'd see you either holding a guitar and practicing, or sitting at the piano and practicing. And you've been putting in time on other instruments outside of your drumming, and I give you a lot of credit, dude, because you're spending your time very wisely. This is something I'm like internally shit talking myself because I don't spend enough time playing music.
Yeah, you do. On the drums, you do.
I should be, dude.
That's
I could totally be fucking spending way more time doing it. But one thing though that you've definitely helped me with is recording and mixing drums. I mean, like you helped me mix a track back at the beginning of the year that I did with, I got to shout out Dane, Oscar. Oscar's really the guy who put it together. Oscar hit me up. Oscar's a great guitarist. He hit me up. He's like, hey, do you have any drum tracks? Maybe let's do a video together. Right. So I sent him a drum track. He sent me something back that was like amazing. Like I didn't expect multiple parts. He played bass. He played synth. He played a little keyboard, and he played guitar. And then we got Dane who plays saxophone. Dane recorded some sweet sax on it, dude. And you know what's interesting too is he recorded it over like what seemed to be either like maybe one of those USB microphones or from the laptop microphones. You remember that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And there were things like I think what I brought to you was decent for my lack of experience.
It was still great.
But you were very good in saying like, all right, so this is what you got. This is what was sent to you. Okay, well, all right, this isn't perfect, but these tracks aren't perfect to work with. But we can work with it. We can make it, and like, dude, you showed me techniques. I mean, I was fucking like for drummers listening.
Right.
I had like a cloth on my snare drum. Like I was hitting it quietly. I purposely this beat was hitting quietly. I'll even try to edit it in right here so people can listen to it. But it's like a
right.
Really like chill, but you made them sound so fucking beefy, dude. Beefy.
Yeah.
My buddy Rich, everybody knows Rich. When I posted the video, he's like, holy shit, man, those drums. And I couldn't take credit for it. You know what I mean? Because you kind of showed me how to get that sound.
Right.
Now, I bring this up because that's something that like, this is something I like about you is that you do speak all the lingo. You know,
it's tough. Yeah,
it's tough,
absolutely.
Right?
You have to like the modern day producer. I guess I don't even like words anymore when it comes to labeling anything in terms of this industry because the producer, and I'm using the quotation marks, is like your recording engineer, songwriter, therapist, the lyricist. Instrumentalist, mastering engineer, mixing engineer. You know, it just the list goes on. Now, more and more now, I actually have like last time we worked. I guess I didn't have artists coming to me. Now, my days are filled with artists coming to me, and they're like, oh, my producer, and it's like, okay, what they're doing is they're handing me lyrics, or half done lyrics, and it's like, this is what I got. Yet they don't have the budget to bring in like what you really need, right? So you need, if you really want to do a record, it's like songwriters, producers, mixing engineers, master engineer, and I say writers because that's the truth. I think it's you need somebody to write guitar licks, you need somebody to write lyrics, you need somebody to write the chords, you need somebody to write drums. You know, so that's why it's very difficult to put a label on like roles now. It's the world we're in is just everything, all the lines blur, you know what I'm saying? So me learning this whole thing, I went through school in LA and stuff to learn how to produce, and then, you know, recently in the last year I just started following a lot of guys that I love that produce and talking to a lot of them, and I'm realizing that it's like, well, I know all that stuff in the box, you call it, in the computer and the analog gear. I know all that stuff, but now I'm learning in 2021. It's quite frankly, it's not enough. You know, these guys that are doing it, they call them the 100%ers, where they sit down, they pick up guitar, they write the chords. 20 minutes later, drum beats laid down. They're sampling vocal chops. They're doing whatever they gotta do. Then they're singing over their own stuff, and then pitching it as demos to like artists, you know, high ticket artists. So they're doing the mixing, everything.
Who's an example of one of them? Isn't that guy that
there's tons
that Billie Eilish's
her brother? Finn.
Her brother, right?
Yeah, he's one of them.
He's one of them, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's not like you don't have to be that guy. You don't but there's something about it that I was like, that appealed to me. I was just like, whoa, that took my dream when I was younger of like, wow, like those guys on the guitar, those guys on the piano, that took my dream a little bit further, and it was like, well, if he's doing it, you can do it. And it's probably really difficult, but so now I feel like I learned a lot of the mixing and mastering and the production, and now I'm like a totally fresh student in terms of like, I want to learn. I don't want to just learn instruments. I want to like master them in a sense, and it's breaking down everything and kind of like being like, okay, you're gonna suck again at these things, which sucks. It sucks to suck,
It does.
but you have to. So now I'm just trying to learn. Like I want to be in a studio with a classically trained guitar player and be able to talk to him fluently.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's I like the word language you used, and I'm going off on tangents, of course, but
No,
the
this
language,
is all good. This is all good.
The language thing. It comes with. You can't just study it like science or something and be like, I know that. You have to get in the trenches and pick up the instrument and blister up your fingers and to understand and talk the language, right? I'm not a mixing engineer, I'm not a mastering engineer, but I've been in the studios with them, and I've got my hands dirty with it to have that trial and error experience, learn, hey, this works, this doesn't, and be able to communicate with them, you know, and
Absolutely.
work alongside them. I've been able to work alongside guys like that have done Grammy winning, you know, mixes and stuff, and be able to communicate to them and learn from each other. You know, it's not just I'm learning from him, he's learning from me, because everyone has something to there's something to take from everybody, you know. So yeah, it as a producer, it's important to be well-rounded, and unfortunately, some days I ask myself, why the fuck did I sign up for this? It's a never-ending thing. It's never-ending.
I think you know, I have the same days, man. I'm like, what am I doing?
Oh, it's crazy.
Right.
It's just never enough. But
it's a difficult endeavor.
Yeah.
You know, it really is. But you have to come back to always, because I fucking love it. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not passionate in getting my hands dirty like with anything else other, you know.
Right, I can't do
like
it.
Music. But I mean, you know, when I talk about like language too, man, you got to understand too, like I'm starting to see perspectives of what don't I and just using myself as an example, what don't I know? As I'm a drummer percussionist, and then like have been recording drums,
right?
And like, man, I've produced before, but I'm not a producer. Like I've produced like a couple things here and there. They're not songs. They're not ready for release. You know what I mean? They're not full. They're just like little beat ideas or something like that, right? So like, from my perspective though, I think about the stuff that I don't know. So like something as simple as how to identify a vibe, a musical vibe that, and I say vibe because I think it's not as directly as, it's not a direct label like genre is.
No.
Genre is like you're putting it in a folder somewhere on a shelf, organized in it.
It's
right?
like you're walking through the bookstore, fiction, nonfiction, horror. Yeah.
A vibe though, right? A vibe is like, man, a vibe is just a flavor with notes to it.
Right.
Oh, a little bit of, it's like the coffee we like.
Right.
You know, there's a little bit of cocoa, a little bit of fucking cherry, whatever.
Right.
That's what a vibe is, right? And you got to be able to communicate that vibe to outside of your own ear.
Right.
When you're working with others. I think it's very important, right? But then I think about like, okay, so this is my perspective as an instrumentalist, specifically drummer. Right. I think it's easier for me to like sit in a room with somebody like yourself, a producer, and even other people that like produce or are mix engineers, and like hold a conversation,
right?
Because of how modern music is, right? Modern music is very, very rhythmic oriented, beat oriented, dance oriented. That's my language, right?
Right.
But think about a guitarist. I don't know about a piano player, sure. Maybe, a keyboard player, Yeah, keyboard player is fine, I think.
Right.
But I think a guitarist and a piano player, I think a wind instrumentalist, like somebody on strings, I would think that they would have a harder time understanding this language and being able to communicate and these and identify these vibes that we're talking about. Like, it's outside of what they're called to do.
Right.
I guess
it is completely different. There's some that you'll sit down with and they'll get it, but it's like you spend your whole life on one thing. I mean, that's why those people are so good at what they do. Like I know classically trained pianists, and they're just like, they're on another level with that.
Yeah.
Yes, you bring them into a studio and it's a learning experience for them, because it's like, wow, what I do is a very small percentage of a big picture. Just like what I do is a very small percentage of a big picture. It's difficult. When it comes to genres like you were talking about versus vibe, right? I think vibe can be made with the music, and I'm talking about pre-production, right? It's like the notes you're choosing. Yep. You could play a drum beat recorded in raw. That's gonna make the vibe. Then what makes the genre, I feel like, is the sound choices. That's a lot of that. So, but you can't necessarily do that without good music first. Everything comes back to the music, and I think I said the same thing on the last podcast that we did a long time ago. That's gonna be my truth no matter what. Is that the music's the most important thing. It's not about the sounds and all the bells and whistles at all if the music's bad, So that's why having those guys that are pro, like, you're the best piano player, you're an amazing drummer, you're amazing at guitar, that's more valuable than anything. The vibe's the most important thing, especially when it comes to starting a song. That's what gets everyone inspired. The pressure of that falls upon the producer most of the time. Yeah. You have to drive that forward. So yeah, it becomes very difficult for me sometimes to communicate that to classically trained. It's not necessarily what they do, right? You could be an amazing classically trained pianist, right, and guitar player and drummer, but if the studio experience isn't there, it becomes a clash.
Sure.
It can become a clash because the person might not understand what's going on.
Which is why you have to be very good at translating.
Yeah, because then you have somebody in there that's their craft and they want to perfect it, and every note has to be perfect and this and that. And I disagree with that. Me too. I think a great take is a great take, yes. Yep. I don't think you should be practicing when you're recording. I don't think that we should spend more than 20 minutes on a take, and that's the only roadblock I've seen sometimes with people that are so good that they're too good for their own good. When it comes to studio, it's that, like, you're hyper focusing on one note. Absolutely. When you've got, like, an amazing take, because there's so much more to go. And that's what I tell artists now that I work with. It's they hyper focus on certain things that they shouldn't. And I'm like, well, this record's 15% done. Like, we have your vocals in for sure. We got vocal takes, verses, choruses, stacks. We have a vibe underneath it with the drum beat, the melodies, the harmony. Everything's there, but don't rip it apart just yet, because we haven't even gotten started. Whereas you might think that this song's done. You have everything. You see an intro, verse one, chorus, verse two, bridge, chorus. It looks like it's done, and you want to rip it apart and stuff, but it's not. It's not even close. So that's I think the most important thing for me to be able to communicate to people is that don't panic. We're just getting started. That's what I have to constantly remind myself and people of all skill levels. It's that, don't worry about the way you went from, one note to the next, or like the way you played this. Dynamics and everything are a big role, but hyper focusing is a curse.
It's another thing I'm witnessing, man, and I'm trying to catch it, because it seems as if this is why I always say perspective. Like, what are you called for, and then in what's normal for what you're called for, what do you see, and how obvious is it to you versus to somebody like me? So one thing is that perfectionism.
Yeah, it sucks.
right? You see it, and you actually see it.
Yeah, you can't have
You don't experience it because you're working with the artist. It's their precious gem that you're recording, and like you see that, and you know that you don't need their perfect notes. You need them, right? You need them to get a take that feels good to them,
right?
To almost like emote or something, even if it's imperfect. You're trying to capture magic, and
yes,
it's like, why are they? And because by the way, I've been this just in recording drums before. I've been this like in my head. I've been that person. But the question is, who do they think is judging them so harshly?
Right.
Who is it?
It's okay. There's two answers to that question. One, if they've released music before, and people give them praise for their music, they feel like they have to one up that song. Right, and they think that there's people waiting with microscopes, like, oh my God, this song's not better than your last release, so they try to do it, the perfect song. That's not, no, you don't want to do that. And number two, it's that again, there's the imaginary people in their head. It's like, oh my God, like people are gonna think this of this song. No, they're not. Like, I'm sorry, there's too much music out there for anyone to.
Yep.
To be that, to care that much, and in a good way. I'm not saying no one cares about the music you release, but there's so much music. People hit next. If you have something captivating, that's what matters. It's not about, overdoing anything. I fall into it too. I mean, if I'm stuck on a record, whether it's my own or a client's record, I have to check myself too. I'll be like, whoa, you're caring too much. Relax. I'll get caught up in like stupid shit, and you've seen me do it. I'll get caught up in a mix, or I can't get this to hit so hard, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
If you watch some professionals, I mean, like guys that have released thousands of songs and have gotten those Grammys and this and that, they're just like, oh well, I like the sound of this chord progression. I like the sound of this drum beat. It's not played perfect. But that imperfect take becomes part of the song. Then the whole song becomes this beautiful, imperfect mess, which that's what human beings are. So why are we sitting here trying to make perfect music, which I don't think the word perfect exists in anything. So that's where I'm at now. The beauty and imperfection of a recording, right? There's guys not even using kick mics on their tracks anymore, right? They'll mic up the kick drum, and they'll have room mics overheads. But at the end of the day, they'll put all the takes in the box, and they'll be like, you know what? The overhead is picking up just enough kick. The drums don't need to be slamming in this song. The vocal's taking that. The vocal's gonna take that low end. The guitar's gonna take that low end. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I'm saying this, is that the drums are an important part, the vocal's an important part, the piano part's an important part. But guess what? It's like you're on stage. If you're overplaying, you can't hear the other guy. You can't hear the vocals.
Sure.
So it's the same thing. I know it's really easy to get caught up in like, oh my God, that doesn't sound good hearing back when you're recording. But also keep in mind that there's other elements going on, and that sometimes the mistakes are actually the thing that you want. I don't want perfection. And
it's just real fast. You made a point. I just gotta. Is this what you mean? Is this an example of what you mean? Like when you just said, you know what? We don't need that kick mic because the overhead's picking up enough of it. And so, is it a thing? Because I honestly think that I suffer from this when I'm mixing drums.
Right.
Is you start from a place of a protocol that you know.
Right.
And there's you start with the mix this first, okay, then you mix down this snares, and then okay, after that, then how do we get, versus what you're talking about is, it sounds like you would just listen without the protocol, and then what is the most valuable thing?
Right.
Ignore the protocol,
right?
Because it might be the room mic that has plenty of character to start that vibe.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's all about, those things are in place to get you started. Otherwise, you're standing there thinking, "Oh my God, what do I do with this? Do I need a kick mic? Do I need?" No, you just fucking put it there. Okay, just like templates, right? Like I start with templates when I'm starting songs. It's there. I wind up not using everything. I have my kick, snare, blah blah blah, this, that, synth, keyboard. So I don't use all of it, but it's all there to get me started. But at some point, you let go of like how it should be, and surrender to like what it is.
Yes.
And then you have a unique song. And there's going to be another unique song after it and another one after it. So guess what? This song doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be what it is. And that's why, to me, I have to be able to communicate that. And this is tying back into what you were saying about having to communicate to people that are just experts at an instrument. If a lot of them do have studio chops, so, but if they don't, in general, even if anyone that walks in a studio, that's always the hardest thing for me, is that to try and explain to someone that, hey, this is a small piece of a very big puzzle of the song. Don't try to perfect it. Don't try to perfect it. If you've done your work outside the studio and your chops are there, we know that technicalities are all there. Your pitch is good. Your dynamics are good. Your breathing's good. All that stuff. That'll take care of itself. You focus on the performance, and if it's not perfect, it's okay.
Yeah.
So, it's maintenance on. There's a maintenance that has to be done, like a car, the oil changes and stuff like that. You kind of have to do the same thing with your instrument, your technique, your skill set. As a vocalist, you got to keep practicing. As a guitar player, you got to keep practicing, keep pushing yourself. Drummer, same thing. That way, when those moments come, you're ready to roll. You can do it. It's an athlete, like an athlete. They're that good because they practice and practice and practice and practice and practice, so that when they have their match or their game, they have all their tools at their disposal. Same thing.
Sure.
When you're in a studio recording or when you're on stage, you just want that stuff to be autopilot. Then the rest is the magic. That's what you want.
Sure, yeah.
So that's that. It shouldn't be a stressful thing. That's what I'm trying to say. If you do your work, it shouldn't be stressful. You give yourself every chance for those magic things to happen.
And somebody like you is what helps, facilitate that.
Right. I think that's the role.
Setting, I guess, or that vibe for the magic.
Yeah,
which is hard, man.
That's the role.
It's a hard job,
Yeah, everything is hard. I think being a dentist is harder than that, for sure.
I only say it because there is something about being in your DAW.
Right.
And editing tracks and mixing, and then I'm in this fucking screen right now. You know what I mean? And I'm in these headphones. To have to think about what's going on behind me with personalities, you know what I mean? Like that fucking, oh my God.
That's a nightmare.
You're managing, you have
to understand when not to, when it comes to that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When and when not to. That's been the majority of the stressors. And I think, you don't want to work with people that it just doesn't work,
Yeah.
Otherwise it's just not good,
if they're not present, listening and present and
yeah, even
right.
if it's not, it's not just, sometimes it's not just a person, sometimes like relationship, the chemistry is just not right.
Sure.
It's usually not a good match, and you want to work with somebody that you're on the same page as. My way's not the only way. There's guys that work completely different than me, and they make beautiful music, so they might do it in a way that resonates with somebody else that, my way might not resonate with. Everyone has we all get to the same place. I just think we all have different ways of getting there, and it's sometimes it just doesn't work with certain personalities, don't mesh well, and you wind up wasting money and time. So it's never a bad thing if it doesn't. I think it's a great thing when you can say, hey, you know what, like this we probably shouldn't be working together. It's sometimes it's just a better option for everybody.
That's strong. That takes a lot of strength to say that.
Yeah, it's learning.
to somebody.
It's learning. It's learning because it's.
Because I've been through that. You know,
Yeah, me too.
it's like we're just, nope. Maybe it'll be different. Maybe it'll be different the next time I work with this person.
No.
And it's just not.
No, you have to look out for specific things.
There's a lot of
in
great
a session.
songs that went to die, I'm sure.
Yeah.
In the history of that, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like a lot of songs that just go to die because
Yeah, I have
the people
definitely.
couldn't. You know, you have a story. I mean, you really have like a story of something like this.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it's got plenty of songs that will never see the light of day.
And good material, good ideas.
Yeah.
Hard work, of course.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's just not meant to be. I think it's just, you know, I'm sure everything has a chance of working. It's just my health is more important than anything.
Yes, sir.
And if that becomes compromised, and it usually by the time that happens, you can't fix it.
Yeah.
Like if there's an unhealthy dynamic, which partially can be that stuff's my fault, most of it, right? Because when you show people how to treat you,
yeah,
they don't know any better.
Sure.
You know, if I keep on blasting out free stuff for everybody,
that's a lack of boundary.
Yeah, and that's, I put myself in that hole, and it was a problem. You know,
you want to get into a little bit of that?
Yeah. Well, I had a project. It was awesome. I mean, we made some really great music. I think I let emotion take the lead at first because I was like, oh my god, this is the best stuff I've ever written. Oh my god, and you forget your boundaries. So I was in a group, and we started making some really good stuff. Right, we released a song, and you know, when you're isolated for a very long time and you're just making music, you forget how to exist in a world, you know. So
yeah,
when people start to say your shit's good, it's like, oh shit, yeah, you start to blow up in your head. You're like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, and the whole band does it as well. And that's when egos start to clash, and you start wanting to flex to everybody. So then it's like, oh, we'll do this for you, we do this for you, not because we want to collaborate with you, but because we want to show you how good we are. Yep. And that turns into a lot of just handouts, and you burn out. Yep. And that's what's happening to me. That's what was happening to me because, you know, I was producing. There's a lot more work in a producer versus like somebody recording instruments or vocals. You know, if it's my job to start the vibe, if it's my job to finish the vibe, to arrange and this and that, and you're constantly giving out handouts, that's what happened to me. And yeah, I blame myself for a lot of it because I was doing that. I was like, yeah, I'll do this until I realized I got nothing left. And there's too many hands in the pot, and everyone wants this and this and this and this and this, and I'm like, well, you want this, but you're talking about all of this from one guy. Like, I can't do all this for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, so yeah, I had a project, probably 2 years. The time's flying, but yeah, you know, there's 10 plus songs probably that'll never see the light of day, and I'm glad. You know, I'm happy they won't, because they were just stepping stones and learning experiences, and I don't want to go into business with anybody that is not for the music first, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because that's the key. It's easy to get caught up in the music videos and the pictures and the social media.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't. And I'm not perfect in that sense either, because I went down the same thing. Again,
sure.
When people start saying they love your stuff, I don't care who you are. You could be a saint. You're gonna start being like, oh, I'm better than everybody, you know, and your head's gonna get big and bigger and bigger and bigger, unless you've experienced it before and you learn. So
Yep.
Yeah, it was it became unhealthy because I just I just had nothing left. I had nothing left, and then you try and hold on to those songs because you think they're so good, but when a band splits, me personally, I want nothing to do with it anymore.
Yeah.
I said the way I approach music is I make a song, it's done. If anyone wants to judge it, they can. I'm not judging it anymore. I'm done. The experience happened. It's done. It's a great song, and maybe I'll listen to it a year later. Maybe not. It's done. I don't need to hold on to it. I don't need to flex it. I don't need to show it off. I don't. It's not about that anymore.
And you did pretty much all of the work.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna look in. Yeah. I mean, the writing, the sounds, the production, the arranging. There's always an input. You can't claim everything, but there's a lot of when you're doing what I was doing, yes, there was more of my hands-on and time than anybody else's. Yes.
So let's just say, I'm just gonna, we're leaving names out, right?
Yeah, of course.
But let's just say
ago, so
an instrumentalist, and that instrumentalist also was laying down vocals.
Right.
So, but you were doing everything else. In fact, you recorded that person, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then, you're but coming up with the arrangement, right? So that's writing, and then obviously the production, which is pretty much the experience of the song.
Right.
Right. Is how you would, I guess, if you wanted to dilute that into a word.
It becomes
production.
Really heavy. It's taxing. It's taxing,
right?
Because it seems like when somebody does production for a living, it's like, oh, they could just do it, like, with a snap of a finger. No, it takes a toll. Every song that I would do would tax me harder and harder.
Oh yeah.
It would tax me. It would tax my body, my mind, my spirit. And then when you want more and more and more, where's this? Where's that? Why isn't this mixed down? Where's this? We're supposed to get this done and this done. It's like, dude, like, this isn't what it was about.
But that was because there was some sort of industry interest from
that's
a
when
label
it gets bad.
or whatever.
That's
right?
when it gets bad. That's exactly when it gets bad.
Yep. Only with the setup of it being on you. That's why it was bad.
Well, also what's bad is that, what's bad is that when you see the same thing happen over and over again, right? When I don't care what you say. I don't care if you say you work for Sony, Warner Brothers. I don't care, because everybody does. If somebody runs and gets coffee for them and they work for them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. I don't care who your friend is. Because show action. Don't say we're gonna sit down. We're gonna send your stuff to this guy, this guy. Yes. That's when it becomes dangerous. When there's a third party that's saying, I need this. You guys got to do this. I got to introduce you this.
Yep.
Puts pressure on you.
Which
you have to do
creates what? It creates urgency.
Yeah, and then you're the one trying to bang this out while trying to maintain a life outside of it too, and a job and a family and relationships and this and that. There's no time for you. And you're just trying to pull from an empty tank all the time for somebody that's not even doing what they said they would do.
Yes.
You know what that means?
Yep.
Like, okay, I have this guy, we're gonna sign the tracks to this and this, and then you're gonna do this. No, I did 4 or 5 of these, and what, I'm not making any money off it. I mean, and I don't want to bring money into it, but let's be honest.
No, it matters.
Yeah. I mean,
it fucking matters, dude.
I'm not going to be miserable and depressed putting money in other people's pockets. Because my self-care is I have to take care of me first.
I don't know if I said this on the podcast before. You and I have had this conversation plenty. And we have to remind ourselves that if we were to just change what we did for a living, but it's still creative and it's still a process, still takes work, right? Because I read this somewhere. And it was something about if you and I were architects,
right?
And somebody asked us to draw up a design for some sort of structure,
right?
Okay, we sent them the design. If we just go, I this is cool, but it's not really what I'm looking for. Thanks anyway, and didn't just tried to walk out the room. that person would be like, wait a minute, you owe me for this spec that I drew up for you.
Right.
Like, and it's a substantial amount of money because
Right.
it took a substantial amount of time and effort. It's like a wasted idea, actually, even, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So why are we different?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why
Yeah,
are we different? I'm not saying it needs to be exactly the same price as an architect, but we have to always, like, I hate this about the set, that just this what would be the word for it? It's like this position that we take as like members of society, as musicians or creatives, like we for some reason accept that we should be paid almost like nothing or very low.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That's what started to put some bad vibes in my head, honestly, was at some point I looked around and I said, whoa, I just did like 5 tracks. None of them were for myself. None of them gave me any money, maybe $150.
Yeah.
That's it. In 6 months, I made $150 off of something that took me 2 months to make. Kid you not, 2 months to make.
Yeah.
And I had friends, thank God, from LA when I went to school there that have been in and out of the industry, and they're like, and I was like, why don't I feel good? Why doesn't this thing make me feel good anymore? Why am I miserable? Why am I depressed?
Yeah.
Why can't I do this anymore? And they're like, hold on a second, let's talk about what you're doing. Tell me what's going on. And I'm like, okay, well, I have a band and I love the music we're making. The process is what I love. I don't care about the song. I like the process. Nothing to me was more rewarding than hitting that friction with myself, saying I can't, how am I gonna, this sucks, and then breaking through that and having these ideas come to you. It's not me. This is something else that happens when you're making a song. And to me that was important. When that went away, what was I doing? I was like, why am I here? And the people that I began to sort of talk to about it were like, hey, like you need to start planning your exit, because you're not healthy. You're just not healthy. And I wasn't healthy, and I tried to hold on to it because I thought that it could have been my answer for my financial problems, my everything in my life, and I think that also was toxic of myself, because again, it wasn't about the process anymore. It was about the fame and the money and and that's where you don't get anywhere. Once that, I'm sorry, but once that's in your head, you're done. You need to stop. You need, the second it comes, if you can't redirect it, and get everybody that's trying to do that around you to redirect it, you gotta get out. At least for my personality, for me, there's people that it works well for. Man. It works well for other people, probably, with money to start. You know?
I agree.
But I didn't have that. I mean, my parents are like non-existent. Lost my mom young. My dad, went out of the picture. I didn't have anyone behind me. People have that. They have that financial debt. I didn't have that. So the one thing that I came to express whatever that thing is in there that I realize is the most important thing, because I have a thorn in my side at all times. There's always something there poking at me like, hey, we're not happy, we're not happy. Yeah. But that's actually the gift, right? If I'm not able to like to have a relationship with that thing, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I mean, I'm in trouble. Whether I was working another job and doing this, it doesn't matter. If I still can't have that relationship with that thing, it's like a poet or a writer or something. They need that. You need to be able to let go and release and write. That disappeared, and I'm so happy I had a couple of friends that kind of gave me the bigger picture, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't have the experience to put a stop to it. The only thing that was happening inside of me was, I have to keep doing this because I need to succeed. I need to go on tour. I need to play big shows. I need to. Yeah, man. That's not.
It's a trap.
That's not that's when you're probably not you probably shouldn't be doing this at that stage. You need
at that
to
moment,
come back. You need to come back to yourself,
Yep.
to music, because I can't make music from that space. And that's what I had to realize. And I had to be honest and not blame everyone else around me, because that wasn't what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to blame everyone else around me. I was trying to get other people to see what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And it can come off the wrong way, because
Sure.
communication is a very difficult thing. You don't know how to communicate to people sometimes.
Yeah, you're talking about even just, dude, even those feelings that you're having, man. I mean,
it's very difficult to communicate that to that
emotional intelligence, man. Most people don't have it by any means. They don't have it.
It's
so
difficult.
what you were going through was hard. It was lonely.
Yeah.
It's and you know, even interpreting somebody not getting it, it feels it feels like a little devastating.
Right. I mean, people are talented. The people I work with, probably the most talented people. I mean, in terms of like when you can click with somebody in a studio and it feel effortless, there's talent.
Yeah.
It's just that when the experience is tainted, there's no going back. I have so much respect for bands that can fall apart and come back together.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to fucking start again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something where you could just like, okay, you know, I'm sorry, we won't do this again. No, it's like you gotta reset, and I think it's not just, this is my problem, is that it's never one person needs to change. It's never just one person needs to change this. I need to change something about myself, or how I'm communicating, or how I'm working. So do you.
Yep.
When it becomes all you're wrong. There's never a safe space for anybody. You can't. There's just never a safe space, and I don't necessarily think that you can get anywhere when it's your easy target like that. And communication's key. Communication's key. Whether you're trying to communicate a musical idea or communicate the extent you're suffering inside your own head, it's so key. And I wasn't good at that. I wasn't good at communicating the extent that I was fucking dead. You know, there was nothing left, because I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know. So how can I communicate that to anybody else when I'm not even communicating it to myself? So put aside talent, put aside all that stuff, you know, that's all a plus. But if you don't have a space of freedom and a space of effortlessness and communication, you can't get very far. And I think what happens is it's usually great at the start, like any relationship is, and then when third parties start to come in and put things in your ears and stuff, that's when it starts to go south.
Sure.
So the most important thing to me is building a safe place, a safe communication lane, a friendship before anything, before any work gets done, before anything else. Because if you don't have that, it's just a combination of what am I doing for you and what are you doing for me?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's the end of the story there. You know, if that's what it is, it's what can I take from you today? What can you you know, that's not good. And I think that's the best way I can sum all that up. So now I'm working with a new team of people now, yourself included, and it's not, the music's secondary. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That part of it, it's not a job, it's a secondary thing, because we enjoy sharing our opinions and our views, even if we're disagreeing. We enjoy grabbing a drink, we enjoy having a cup of coffee, we enjoy laughing, talking about bullshit. You know, there's no bullshit, there's no lying, there's no flexing the guns, there's no I'm better than this, than you, there's no we have to do this to impress this guy and this guy, there's none of that. It's hey, like, what's up, you know? It's like, what's going on, how are you? But, you know, it's not that shit. So I have other people that I work with that's just, it's effortless, and the same naturally the same goals are there. Not like, hey, I need you to have the same image as I do and the same goals as I do. No, I'm not trying to change you.
Yes.
You shouldn't be trying to change me.
Yes.
I don't want to do that stuff.
Yep.
If you
and you wouldn't want to do that to me either. You don't. You don't want to. You don't want somebody. You don't want to be having to. You don't want somebody's contribution to be a thing that they forced.
No, exactly. You can't.
You know.
I that would be like me saying, hey. I want to get a Grammy.
Yeah.
I need your drums.
Yes.
And I need you to do them now. Okay? You might just be like, well, I like to play drums. You know, I really don't give a shit about winning a Grammy.
Yeah.
I don't care. I still you're gonna do this stuff for me today. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it for me today for free. You know.
And you're gonna do it my way.
Yeah, you're gonna do it my way, and you're gonna see my vision and my big picture.
And that gig exists, by the way.
Yeah, it does.
Like right, that there are, and you know what? There's a drummer who would go, "You got it, it, sir. You got it, boss."
Yeah. Hey, I don't like that. Yeah, it's just it just doesn't work for me. There's a place and a time for that stuff. Like if you're a client and you're paying a producer and you want their vision, yeah, you're gonna listen to them. But if it comes down to like, I shouldn't. You're asking for my vision then. I'm asking for your vision. I'm paying you for it. Yep. But other than that, it's like if I'm gonna form a team and a relationship, I have my certain goals. I want a studio, right? I want to be financially stable. I want to have, I want to write a certain type of music. I want to work with a certain type of artists.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working with people now that it's just they're on the same page. It's not, oh, dude, you need to think like me. No. It's like we both actually have the same vision. We have the same taste in music. We have the same this. We have the same that. It's like a relationship. Love's not enough. Sometimes one thing in common is not enough.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to working with people, and yeah, you know what? I can look back and feel bad, but I don't anymore. I look back and I'm thankful for learning everything I learned because if I'm gonna have a career in music, I want to be able to protect myself and be healthy doing it. It's a long run. This isn't something that happens in your early. I mean, maybe you're lucky and by the time you're 20, 22, you have a fucking studio, big time studio, and you're touring and stuff. Yeah, it happens, but a lot of times it doesn't, and you're in it for the long haul, and you have to be healthy in the meantime. My performance in music and in the studio and with students is not what I do then in the moment. It's what I'm doing outside of it. Yes. And if I don't have the room to do what I need to do outside of it, my shadow starts to do the living, not me.
Yes.
It's I always wear that. I don't know if anyone notices, but I wear this bracelet called "Feed the Right Wolf." It like reminds me that because I'm like, everyone has two wolves in them, right? I always say that it's a really cool story. There's the one that's like, it's a bad, evil one, and then there's a good one, right? The bad one is like resentment, anger, fear, laziness, the depression, all that stuff. And then the good ones like love, happiness, wealth. It could be things that you think, joy, creativity, all that stuff, right? Friendship, and it's like which one? If we all have two wolves in us, how do we know which one it is the one that's right and the one that's winning and the one that you're, which wolf is living right
that's
now?
Right.
And I say the one you're feeding.
Yes.
The one you feed is the one that's living. And
Yep.
So if I'm not doing the things to feed the right wolf, no one's gonna have any music out of me. No one's gonna have a good friend. No one's gonna have a good anything out of me.
That's right.
I'm gonna be in bed, fucking depressed, numb to the world, and that's gonna be it. So
that's right.
That's and I think that goes for any career, anything.
I started wearing a little bracelet too, man, that I ordered, just because I read something like I gotta be a little. Hey folks, Anthony's gotta be a little nicer to himself.
Right.
He fucking tortured. Matt knows.
Same.
it's just like negative self-talk. It's really the biggest problem of my life, right? And I didn't create it on purpose. This is just, these are things that happen from not talking about your feelings and shit like that when you're younger, you know? And so anyway, so I got this bracelet it's a physical thing that I feel on my wrist to remind me.
Yeah, it's important.
Of like, hey man, you know, like almost, and I don't want to wear a medical bracelet, you know what I mean? Like I'm sick, but it is something to bring the awareness back. Yeah. You know, and to be nice. It's good. Well. And you know, I just gotta say too, you know, you had a rough. The last year for you, man. And I'm glad that if I was of any help.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad.
Man. It's about the people around you. You could take yourself so far, and that's God's honest truth. You can only take yourself so far.
You've helped me too, man.
Dead honest. Yeah, it's and a good friendship is both ways. It's never one person. There's, like I'm saying, all the stuff I'm talking about when it comes to working with bands, it's life shit. It's not like things that just work in that. This is shit that you learn from mistakes that works everywhere. A good friendship is a two-way thing. I'm not taking and taking and taking, and you're not taking and taking and taking. It's a two-way stream. You know, you've helped me, right. I've helped you, and it's not like we're trying to. We're just being ourselves. You know,
that's what it is.
That's what works. It's not convincing you to be a certain way for me at a certain time. It's on myself, and you're yourself, and
yep.
We're helping each other on the same team, digging ourselves out of the trenches. You know, that's what it is. That's yep. Life shit. And yeah, I had a ripping, miserable past year, for sure. From having to move out last minute of a house, not much help, to financially hitting the dirt, to car issues, to health issues, I mean, you name it, it happened. And it's not about how strong I am, it's about how strong people around me are, because I can't there's a point in time where you could be as strong as you want, tough as you want, and you can't stand up to that thing. You can't, you know, there's only so you can only be so strong.
I know what you mean. You kind of mean like there's people around you in your corner.
Yeah,
that's on your side. They're allies.
Yeah, you need that.
They are not foes by any
means.
You can trust, you know.
Yeah, you need that.
You're right.
Yeah, you absolutely need that. If I'm drowning, you know, I need to be able to say, hey, I don't feel good. I'm having a hard time. You know, and yeah, I used to think like mental health stuff was like specific to the music industry, and like I thought like only artists feel isolation, depression, and things, and now I'm seeing that that's not the case. This is something that everybody experiences. Everybody.
Yeah. It's a spectrum.
Yeah, if you're with 10 people, probably all 10 of those people have something that, you know. I'm not gonna lie. I think that and if we're mental health, sure, mental health. It's a thing. It's important. You can't see it, so you don't think about it. But I think anxiety is very common. I think depression is very common, and those two words are very broad. They come with, like, anxiety has many different faces. It's performance anxiety. It's
sure.
Fucking social anxiety. It's PTSD. It's,
mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not an expert with mental health. I only just like to start conversations. I don't want to act like I can tell people how to get their way out, because I don't know. I'm brawling my way out of it every day. You know, so. But the one thing that I can say helps me is having people in my corner. If I'm in a toxic surrounding and toxic people around me, I gotta get out. Because there's gonna be no Matt. You know, you're gonna be staring at a shell. You'll be staring at a shell. You know, he's not there, and it's very difficult to communicate that, because if you suffer from something like depression, there's a shame factor that doesn't let you ask for help.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
And it's part of it, and you don't understand.
You don't even understand it.
I've tricked myself into thinking that, you know, I'm alone, when in reality you're not. You're a phone call away. So
that's right.
Yeah. So getting through this year was a lot of that. It was a lot of more. I'm getting older, but I'm learning. It's not about how strong I can be. It's not about how much of a fight I can bring. It's very important to have a strong mindset for myself, but you have to outsmart these things. You can't go to battle every day.
Yeah, it's behavior.
You can't go to battle every day. You can't. You have to be able to outsmart these things, and that's why I say feeding the right side of yourself is. That's right. You want to avoid the battles.
That's right.
I don't want to get into these clashes anymore. I'm too. It's exhausting. Mental health, it can be that way. It's like, do I wanna have to freaking have a fucking D-Day? Do I want to drop the boats on Normandy Beach right now today and try to push uphill and fucking get to the bunkers and, you know, brawl my way through? I can. Do I want to every single day?
No, exactly.
So how do we avoid having to confront that clash, and
to make the battle less intense, right?
It's friendship. It's communication.
It's
having a team of friends. You can call it a support network. It's friends. It's people that you could be yourself. That can be yourselves around you. Yeah.
I wanted to just real fast also, because we talked about it, and you're cool with sharing it. Mm-hmm. With as little detail as possible, because it doesn't need the detail. But I think I think your unique experience is very helpful for people to hear, especially you as a producer. But this could happen. I think this could happen to anybody, and as far as if you're creating and recording and music with others, you had like we said before, you did most of the work on those songs, right?
Right.
And the project died.
Yes.
You ended things, right? And it was like everybody move on.
Mutual, yep.
Right? And then you saw that your material was being...
Oh, yeah. So if there's an agreement where it's like, hey, we're not a thing anymore, but I still want to use this stuff. At first I was like, yeah, okay. Whatever, use our names. I'm not gonna obviously just hand over work for free. But then you get into a world where you're promoting things for yourself, and it's like, how much of that work did you actually do?
Yep.
Can you replicate it? Can you redo it on your own?
Yep.
Can you do all that on your own? I can't sing like that. I can't sing over that stuff. I know, so I'm not gonna take it, put it out under my own name, and say it's me.
Of course not, yeah.
So that comes down to that, it's very easy to just say, yeah, you know what, I just want to move on with it. But you know what, at some point, again, I had really good people in my corner that said, hey, don't take that shit. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Those people saw it and they were like, dude, did you agree to this? Because I know how much you put into that. Like, what's going on here? And then I was like, oh shit, it's not about the money. It was never about the money. There wasn't going to be money made. There was no money in that shit. It was old. We made that 2 years ago. The sounds were old. It was an old song. Great song, timeless lyrics and stuff. But
sure.
But again, it wasn't like the holy grail of music in any means.
Yeah.
And if it's really about the music, leave it the fuck alone. Let it stay where it is.
Yep.
Leave it alone. It's there. People want to listen to it. It's not about... And I could be contradicting myself right now and saying, oh, but I wanted my name on it. Yeah, I guess, sure. Yeah, I wanted my name on it.
Yeah, but there was...
But it was
that's
still
why I say as little detail, right, as possible, right? Would you agree that there were so many other things around that, shitty things that you dealt with?
Yeah, of course.
That made that... that kind of...
Because you're done. Yeah, by the time that happens, you're done. And what happens then is it just becomes another kick in the face where it's like, wow, I did all that work and it's... Nobody knows. Nobody cares.
Is it like... Tell me yes or no. Is it? Mm-hmm. It's probably not exactly like this, but hypothetically, if the Police created, Sting's band, right? If they created a song or a couple songs together, Sting's recorded his vocals on it for sure. Mm-hmm. Did not create the entire project, but let's just say the drummer, fuck it. What's his name?
Oh,
It'll come to me.
Yeah.
Fucking Stuart
yes.
Copeland. Stuart Copeland.
Same.
Let's say he wrote everything. He recorded everything, right? The guitarist, I forget the guy's name, Andy something. But Sting just did vocals and maybe bass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but Stuart Copeland came up with the whole production, did the whole thing, mixed it, right? And then they break up. And then now Sting goes and releases that song under his own name.
Yeah, if it's not in the agreement, then it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
So, like, you would be Stuart Copeland in that sense. Is what the fuck, Sting? Like,
yeah. If it's not,
what are you doing?
If it's not verbally agreed or on paper, where it's like, okay, you're gonna pay me for my services, and then you could do that, right?
So
like,
you dealt with that, like in a legal sense, right? You had to deal with that.
Yeah, we had to. We had to get contracts written and this and that, and lawyer notes and stuff like that.
It's so shitty that you had to do that.
Yeah, it happens.
But let me tell you, as your friend and as somebody, also like you're also in the network of musicians, right? You the way you handled that.
Yeah.
Was very inspiring, and it was like a fucking like moment of justice where I'm just power fisting like, yeah, man, fucking, you know what I mean?
You do what you have to do.
You had to do it, and that person.
I had to fight back. You know, I
backed
had to,
down.
Yeah, well, I had to. We had to come to some sort of an agreement and actually stick to it. You know, you have to. If you say one thing and then go do another thing, that's not cool. You know, back to your example, if they agreed like, hey, yeah, you can do it, just make sure I'm getting credit everywhere, and then he puts out artwork and stuff that you're nowhere to be found and promoting it where you're nowhere to be found. That's not your agreement.
And didn't even notify you that it's being
exactly. Yeah,
right.
You're not honoring the agreement. So at that point, it's not about the music. It's about your image. It's not about. So why even bother? Why even bother? If it's only about the music? So, yeah, that was a shitty experience, one that I could learn from, and one that I would hope no one ever gets themselves into. I view things as, if it's over, it's over. Move on. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to revisit it. Move on. Leave everything where it's at. Move on. That was my whole thing. Was that whole thing was very emotionally loaded for me. I had a really difficult time expressing anything to anybody at that time in my life, because a lot of things happened at once, and I didn't necessarily. I underestimated mental health issues. I underestimated depression for sure.
Oh my god!
I didn't think that it could do what it did to me.
It's a volcano, man.
Yeah, I didn't think it could destroy. I didn't think it could take me down again, and. It was actually
it's a volcano.
It was the only.
It's not a mountain. It's a volcano.
It was the only thing that was doing the talking in terms of me, and I didn't know. So it was so hard. It was so hard for me to just say, "Hey, I'm not cool with that.
Yep.
I'm not okay with that," because I wasn't talking from me. I was talking from a depressed, very depressed mindset, and so I had to learn how to stick up for myself. And I did. And it was terrifying, but I did it.
And it was, dude. It was
again.
It was like one of those. It sucked, and I was angry as your friend that. Is this really happening?
Yeah, a lot of people.
You really have to deal with this right now.
I was pissed off that people sent it to me because I didn't want anything. I didn't want to know about it. I honestly just didn't care because I was.
But you had to. Yeah, you had to do that though.
Yeah, I did. I just
and the way you did it, and it wasn't long and drawn out too.
No, we went right for it, got it done, and that was it.
And it was cool, man. It was cool to see that. I'm glad. I hate that you went through it, but I'm glad that you dealt with it in such a way that was quick and effective, of course.
Yeah,
and
life is
it's
like
so
that.
Behind you too.
Yeah, life
right?
is,
like right now,
yeah.
That is so behind you right now.
Yeah. Life's like that where things come up and you gotta figure out how much you want to put into it. If there's an issue, do you want it to take you down? Is it gonna consume you, or is it gonna be something that you just pause and say, all right, take a deep breath. How do we solve this? How do we solve this without losing ourselves in it? I need to ask for help. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I said,
yeah.
I called people that knew more about it than me, rather than starting to blow up, get angry and aggressive, and I just didn't want to be that anymore, and I found a better way to deal with it. You know, that's how you do it. I again reached out to people that knew more about it than me.
And you know what, man? Like listening, if you've listened to this thus far,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like Matt just pretty much gave us a Tarantino. Like he started at where he's at now and worked backward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this project is an example of like it's highlighting, like because you mentioned before about this is the type of relationship you want to work with, right? And you're ending that story with how you know that, how you
Mm-hmm.
figured that out from working in a toxic,
Yeah.
dysfunctional type of situation with others, and
Right.
you really learned it the hard way,
Yeah.
which is the best way. Because what if you learn that 10 years from now?
Yeah, there's
You know what I
nothing
mean?
left. There's nothing left. You know, you can't. There's nothing left. I would have been coasting.
Like you've redefined
Yeah.
from this, like
100%.
a very good definition
Yeah.
of what that working / just relationship in general. It's not
Yeah,
just
I
work.
mean, if you want the truth, if you want me to go there, like the truth of it is this 6-month period of time of my life, because that band, we tried to get back together and do it again, and then it just didn't feel right because the same things were still happening. It's like, well,
Yep.
this is for me, you're gonna do this, you know, and we're still gonna do these things even though the visions didn't line up. And then I'm the type of person that I don't care. I'm gonna call bullshit when I see it.
Sure.
If we're gonna enter into a working relationship, there needs to be transparency. That's my number one rule. I don't care about anything else. If we're gonna work together, we're gonna be on the same page. And I didn't feel that. I felt the deceit. And when I opened my mouth about the way I was feeling and what was actually happening and what was being said behind my back,
Mm-hmm.
you know, abandonment again. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Blocked on everything. Goodbye. You know, I don't need you.
Oh yeah.
I don't need you. I don't need you because I'm out. Okay. I don't need you. Okay. You know, well, whatever. Not to go into detail, but after that happened, right? Yeah, a relationship I was in ended. I was in a bad place financially. I was in a bad place mentally. I was in a bad place everything. Not because I was doing anything wrong in my life. I wasn't like a drug addict, a junkie. None of that. It was none of that. I was just hurt. I was hurt, and I didn't address that shit. So all of that led to just adding fuel to that fire, where I was more isolated. So what happened was I'm sitting with myself and trying to find a reason for everything being gone that I worked hard for. And I started to fix things inside and look at things inside. Sure, there's things, I think nobody's perfect and everybody has things to work on and grow from, but I was looking at it from the lens of other people and not myself. I was looking at it from the everything that people, what I was doing was there was a bubble of opinions that were built up about me, and I was trying to address every single one of those when I'm trying to address things that didn't exist, and I spent too much time in isolation trying to fix things that might not have been real, you know.
Yeah.
And it made me look at myself and everything. It made me find things that were wrong. It made me find things that, hey, like, yeah, man, you're not very good at communicating. You're not very good at consistency with certain things. You're not very good at you know, and no one's perfect at everything. But I did in that process I addressed a lot of that stuff. So what I took away with that was a lot of learning. I had to really dig in and look at exactly where I went wrong not where I don't care where anyone else went wrong. I know where they went wrong, but that's not what's important to me because I can't control that.
Exactly.
What I can control is where did I go wrong, you know, and I'm fucking well aware of those things, and I'd like to say that I've learned from them. I'd like to say that I've maybe filled those gaps, you know. So that's why I think I'm able to kind of work backwards because I spent a long time with that. Stuff. Probably longer than I should have.
Should is a whatever word, man. I still say, like, the fact that you're in your position, you're able to support yourself and somebody else, of course.
Right.
You know, and deal with these personal issues, which, by the way, you didn't really create them.
No, and that's what I'm saying.
You know?
That's what I'm saying is that, like, it's easy to look at yourself from a lens of everybody else. Because
exactly.
Everybody else's lens is created off of their experience, and they could have external factors that give them a certain point of view about you. And you're not looking at truth, you're looking at somebody's conclusions that they've drawn about you, which might not be true, you know?
Yeah,
and,
like it's like credibility.
Yeah,
is
it might
a
not
word
be
that
true.
you gotta really keep it very close. It's like, is this person's thoughts credible about me?
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And I put a lot of faith in other people's opinions, and that's something I really pulled away. Is that, like, it doesn't matter either. I don't care anymore. I don't care if my next door neighbor has something bad to say. Okay, cool. You know, let's keep going. Cool.
Yeah.
You know, he could be right, he could be wrong. It doesn't matter. I know my truth. I know what I'm
you're
doing.
not directly.
Yeah,
I
know.
There's no responsibility. Like, meaning, if you were actually harming this person, you would take responsibility and change.
I always try to. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
You
like,
always
it's
try
not,
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not trying to paint this picture of me being bad. I didn't do. You know, nobody. Neither did they. Nobody in any of these scenarios in my past. Nobody was, like, beating up on another person. It's just, again, I think a lot of what I'm talking about is just communication. And communication is important. And it's easy to not understand that and start to fire off other things, you know, when it's just
there's so much passion behind what we do, man.
Yeah.
So there's so much passion.
Yeah. So a lot of other things jump in there, you know.
People get precious with their input.
Yeah.
We were talking, this is the last episode with Adam Marshall. You know, Paul and I were talking to this guy, and, you know, we addressed that issue of, like, being able to let go and trust the people that you chose to work with, because it
comes down to that.
You chose them. So
right.
if they actually, if it's not working out, it's still, in a sense, not to put blame on yourself, but it's a good thing that was your decision to work with them, so you could take responsibility for that. And in the sense of the next time, you're not going to work with them.
Right.
We're gonna pick somebody that you can actually, you feel comfortable working with, like,
right.
And that's that's the type of control that's healthy, because then you could give away control.
Right.
To that person that you choose.
Yeah, I think self-awareness is the biggest factor in everything.
Yes, sir.
I think it's the biggest factor in everything.
Yes,
you
sir.
have to be really aware of yourself, because that's the only thing you can control. If I naturally have a tendency to be depressed and negative, I gotta know that, because then I have to check myself and be like, well, am I being negative right now? Am I coming from a really depressed place? Like I have to know, and I have to. And I give credit to anybody that deals with any sort of, like, anxiety or depression or bipolar or anything under the mental health world, because it's so easy to dupe yourself. It's so easy to not realize how actually far down the rabbit hole you are when you think everything's fine.
That's right.
It just becomes a thing of, like, I'm strong and I got it and everything's okay. It's not. It's, like, let's be honest, it's not. So you have to. I'm so sympathetic to those. People like that, because it's it sucks because that caused a lot of things, you know, because it's, and you don't realize, I underestimated the power of like depression. You think it's something that, and I didn't fully understand it, you know, and
sure.
and that's a self-awareness thing, right? So that didn't give me the ability to fully communicate, and that was just an experience in my path to teach me that.
Yeah, man.
Because now I can
became
maneuver.
fascinated with it, right? You became like interested in like what is actually going on.
Yeah.
And you actually learned about it. Like Matt and I, like this conversation you're hearing, Matt and I have this like we're always talking about mental health.
Right.
Always.
Yeah.
It's not a thing. It's not like a thing of like we're forcing it. We relate to each other on I mean actually it's interesting how many times I've told you about, man, I'm just something, whatever's going on in my life, and you'll respond with, you know what, man, I've like felt that before,
right?
And you'll give your description of it, and but here's where and then you'll give me a different but here's how I see it, here's what I did about that or whatever. Very, very, very fucking helpful.
Yeah,
and then there are times when you're like, dude, when you're that part of you is trying to convince you of what reality is, and you're buying into it, and it's a negative view of yourself, right? From probably an external view or perspective, right?
Right.
And then now, that's why you hit me up, or vice versa. We'll hit each other up. We'll talk about it, and then we'll help kind of show and disprove that whatever that reality is. We'll just completely break that idea of what reality is down.
Right.
And then reestablish how we see it from our own perspective on the other person.
Right.
Extremely, extremely helpful. And then it ends up, we talk about music.
Yeah, 100%.
And then it goes in and out of music, mental health. And it's like, if you're talking about mental health and talking about your passion in music and you're connecting on both, then
it's life, man.
That's that's like an example of working the type of working relationship that you'd like to have. So
mental health is my number one. That's it.
Yeah.
Mine is everything. If mine's strong, everything else follows.
Yes,
and I can't underestimate. I can't underestimate it. That's the thing. I just can't. I have to say I don't know everything. I don't know everything about it.
Right.
And that's why I have to have people around me, because again, those perspectives are key. They're key. So the beautiful thing about everything that we're talking about is that I learned a shit ton. There's more before that, when I was out on my own in LA and finding my way, and everything's learning. I mean, I'm by no means having a easy time now even, but I know in 6 months from now, I look back and I'll be like, hey, yeah, you crushed through that.
Oh, dude.
And you learned, and now there's going to be a new set of challenges, and we're going to do the same thing. There's things you can't control, for sure. There's things that happen. That's called life. But how you respond is everything.
How you respond.
Yeah, it's everything.
And you know what? And I just got to throw it out there, man. I know this is an audio. Nobody could see you.
Yeah.
But we were a bunch of musicians. You and me and a couple of musicians were hanging out the other night. And, and even before that, like, it is a topic that everybody's saying, Jesus Christ, Matt, you've transformed your body. Like, and you tell me about the workouts that you do twice a week or whatever it is.
Hell.
It's just like insanity. Insanity that you're doing, and you're consistent with it, and it shows. And it's been how long? It's been maybe 4 months?
Yeah, my body completely,
or whatever.
Completely changed. Like I said, it's a byproduct of mental strength. It's
mental
not,
strength.
Discipline and mental strength. Because without that, you can't stick to a diet. You can't make it to the gym. And as you know, when you have depression, those things are 50 billion times harder than they are for a normal human being. So
starting them.
Yeah, just to be able to do that for me. I'm late to the gym, and some days I miss my diet and stuff like that. But the imperfection of it is fucking awesome, because you can still see that even though you're not perfect with it, the results are happening.
Oh my God, dude.
And it's a mental thing, and I still suffer, I still struggle, I have more bad days than I have good days, but when you can look up and look in the mirror, you'd be like, I'm fucking winning.
That's right, man.
I'm fucking
That's
winning.
right, dude.
Despite how hard this is, I'm winning.
You are, definitely.
I'm winning. I mean, you go from 210 pounds to 155 pounds in 3 months. I mean, I'm fucking winning.
And it's not unhealthy, too.
No, I'm winning.
Because you don't look unhealthy.
No, this is strength. This is strength.
You look strong. You look you have more energy.
This is strength. This is nothing but strength and discipline, and that's why you could say you're winning. I can get knocked the hell down. My car can break down 4 times in a row. My wheel can go rolling off down the street.
These are all true things.
True things that are happening.
But, within this month, right?
Yeah, but my gas tank can set on fire.
Oh my God! Dude.
I could get evicted for no reason. I could, there's a lot of things that can happen, and again, if you're mentally strong, it's just another bump in the road. It's just another bump in the road. That's it. That's all it is.
So with all this stuff now,
yeah.
Let's just talk about now where you're at as far as positive stuff.
Right.
And like for anybody listening that actually wants to work with Matt, you totally can.
Oh yeah.
Just by hitting him up. Well, all his details will be in the description of this podcast. Please hit him up. But you are a team member of, it's called the Vault Studios, correct?
Yeah. So we just started doing that. Not just started. I think about 2 months now. Me and my buddy Tyler. It's in my town in Boonton, and we're starting to work with a lot of artists, a lot of new stuff. It's challenging me, but we're taking this approach where it's more of like it's working with artists, but it's developing them as well. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So you're bringing us what you got, lyrics and stuff, and obviously like we kind of got to be selective because you can't be efficient if somebody's not also efficient.
Yeah, of course.
So
you're gonna tell them the truth.
Yeah. So we're finding.
You're gonna bullshit them. Yeah.
We're finding and stumbling upon and words getting out about the process that we go through, and that we're great at what we can do. We can make a vibe very quickly. You can walk in with lyrics and walk out with a song, something that you would have never dreamed of. Something that makes sense to you. The song makes perfect sense to you, and it's exactly what you wanted to say, but you didn't know how to say it. And we're able to do that because we're able to let go and pull back and make it about the song. And so we started doing that, and now people are starting to come in. So my goal is to, and I know Tyler's goal too, is we have the same vision of like upgrading to a bigger studio and really doing this as full-time thing. So yeah, we're working with artists now. I'm taking bookings there Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes weekends. And it's awesome. It's the real deal. It's like exactly what I always wanted to do. I get to take a back seat because I'm not a mixing engineer by any means. I know how to turn knobs and make stuff sound good, but this dude's a mixing engineer for sure. He's my age, and we both found each other at the same place in our lives and this and that. We know a lot of the same people, so it works. I can do the production, songwriting. We can work together with it, and then I don't have to worry about mixing for the first time in my life, which is so relieving. So I can do the best job that I can, and then I can give it to him, and then he takes it another 20 steps further, and then we do the next one. It's a team, and there's other producers in the room and other writers, and it's exactly what I always wanted, because I realized the extent of, like, again, you can't do everything on your own.
Yeah.
The team is where it's at. It's the key. And what I'm seeing now is more live instruments coming in, and that's where I'm at now. I'm moving into that. I'm moving into that world. Like I said, to tie it all back into where we started. I'm not as digital anymore. I'm all about real instruments again, because most people want real stuff now. They want real guitar, real piano, real drums. It's nice. I wanted this, so it's nice.
What I like though about what I think is value about working with you, which is why people, if you're listening and if you're creative and you want to hear your song really truly come to life, working with Matt is great, because you are able to absolutely move on and ditch whatever you're doing to follow another impulse of you know what, let's ditch what we're doing and completely change it up, because I think this would be better. You know how to. You understand you understand your process. You've explained it to me. You can come up with something, and let's say that something is in the future bass, let's say, genre, right, of a vibe. And you start fucking with maybe a melody or a bass line or something like that. But then you discovered something that you like that, let's say it's a bass line or a melody or even a beat that it doesn't even fit what you're doing.
Right.
But you like it better.
Right.
You're more inspired by it. So you'll completely abandon ship of what you're doing.
It's on point. Yeah, it's on point.
And go in that direction.
Yeah, you gotta have an open mind.
The whole point is right. You've explained it to me. The whole point is you're trying to. I mean, you might actually need to explain it better than I am right now, actually. But the whole point of that is that rabbit hole, I guess you want to call it, or that trail of whatever those breadcrumbs are, will lead to inspiration after inspiration after inspiration until the whole thing becomes a living entity versus, right, oh man, I have these two parts. I just need to figure out this bass line to make this thing whole. You've explained it to me where that's kind of a trap. You get stuck there, and your ability. The reason why I'm going on a tangent here. The reason why, as an artist, I think somebody could benefit from that is you hear things way before they do. Yeah. You hear potential way before. Yeah. The fact that they may never even be able to, and what I mean by hear is imagine it. Of course. In your mind, in your mind's ear, you can imagine a potential sound. Yeah. Which somebody else can't hear, and you could put it together very quickly and let them hear it, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I didn't even think of that. I love that," and now they're fucking inspired. So awesome. That's why it's great to work with you.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's only done as a product of doing that a lot, like being able to take it to something you never heard. You do that enough times, you could do it a lot. It just comes with letting go and trusting instinct. You know, if I play a sound or a chord or a note and I feel it's right, I lean into it. And it's a rabbit hole for sure, because you're uncertain the whole time until you're certain. That's what it is. You're completely uncertain the whole time until it's not an option to be certain. You know, the song finds its way, and that's the way I like to work. And it's people haven't seen that. They don't. When the artist is in the studio and they see that, they're like, what's happening? Yes. It's pretty cool.
And you have presentation with the idea too. And what I mean by presentation is something as simple as, like, if we were talking about food, right. Like you will present the idea in the context that they would hear it. Like, if it's supposed to be very reverby, for instance, or it's supposed to be placed in a space, you know, right. or hit the compressor a certain way, whatever it might be, you present the idea, so you work that fast too, and you think that far ahead.
You have to,
and because part of that is communication. You're trying to translate an idea.
So much.
So that's why I say your ability to verbally communicate,
right.
Musically,
right.
as a producer, to instrumentalists, to vocalists, but also like your ability to actually show what you're talking about. It's so powerful.
It's more about showing than telling. If you can't,
and they don't have to sit there and wait 20 minutes for you to show it. Too.
I don't want to talk.
The other thing.
Like, in this thing, I don't want to talk. I just want to do it, and people get a very good idea of what's about to happen within like the 10 minutes of us sitting down and working. It's like they're nervous. What's gonna happen? How are we gonna get this song done? And then once they see the process starting, they're like, oh, hold on.
It's exciting.
Oh, I can sit back. What? I can actually sit back.
It's exciting.
Chill. Yeah.
You could feel like an audience member to it, and it's kind of your lyrics, your song.
Yeah.
But watching Matt kind of work is a show in itself, and the fact that I guess it would be like going in and asking a very good tattoo artist to work on you,
right?
With an idea you have, a concept that you have, and then they bring out. They create this fucking Holy shit, that's even better than what it's cool, man. I think you do that very well. I think that's what's valuable about working with you, man.
Thanks. That's what I try to do. I try to do it a different way. And I think that's what's going to give it the success when time comes, is that, I think that we'll be able to get to where we want to get to and sustain the type of lifestyle we want to, because the process is what it is. I don't know that I see the same process that I use anywhere else, because there's pieces of the old school in terms of the vocal production and the layering and the writing, and there's pieces of things that I've created by myself in terms of the process, and there's things that are taken from other people and turned on their head, and there's a lot of things that you won't get anywhere else. And I think as we start to release some tracks for artists, people are gonna ask where the hell that came from, because every single person that comes in gets something that they never thought was possible. And
sure, yeah.
And it's awesome. It's awesome, and I just have a trust in I never trusted the process as much as I do now. And to me, that's everything. I don't walk into a studio session not confident anymore. I used to kind of panic and freak out and be like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to work with this guy. He's a jazz guy, or he's a hip hop guy, or to me now it doesn't matter what genre, where you're from, and what you do. It's just I trust that. Yeah. I trust that I'm doing my work outside the studio. I'm doing my work, studying music, studying everything I possibly can about every instrument, and listening is key to music.
Listening, yep.
And
awareness.
Referencing is key, and I think I think as long as those things are in place, I'd never feel like I can't do the work, because I can. And that confidence, once I walked into sessions with that confidence, everything changed, because I trust my process. I trust it. I trust it no matter what. I don't hit writer's block anymore. I don't. If I do, it's very short term.
Sure.
Very short term.
Now, I'm looking at the computer screen. You've shared screen with me. Yeah. And I see an Ableton live session.
Yeah, she just brought the tempo down, because as we were talking, I had an idea. So it's funny.
See, look at that. He's always working.
The tempo was at 140, and I pulled it down to 120, because I actually heard something in my head. So I was like, oh.
What do you got? What do you got here?
Well, it's just like I have a template set up, so it's evolved over the past couple of years. But as you can see, I have groups and stuff, my bass, my sub, my kick, my drums. Everything's routed already to different buses and channels, and all this stuff is not in normal human being language, sorry. But
no, that's okay.
Yes, I have everything set so that when I have an idea, it'll sound good right away. Everything's going to the right place, and then the master, my whatever, chains and stuff. So at least when I'm starting an idea, I give myself the best chance to be inspired, because I know everything's kind of gonna sound good, because I have a template that kind of like makes sure that it sounds good. It's just about feeding it the right information now.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, I usually just want to be able to get up and running as fast as I can, and like, see, I have template the kicks. There's already sounds loaded in there, lots of different types of sounds. I used to be very specific in genre. Now I have sounds that work in so many different genres, so that.
And they can always be changed.
Yeah, if I have to make a pivot, I don't have to go digging for other sounds.
Good.
I can make that pivot quick if I'm starting a song and I.
That's so smart, actually. Now I'm thinking about that now. Wow, that's very smart.
I don't just have hip hop kicks or dance kicks or EDM kicks or snares that only work in hip hop. I have like these libraries I have loaded up have a sound for pretty much every genre, so that when I'm writing, if a certain one sounds good, I'm like, wait, but that's like an R&B sound. Are we going that way? Or are we using an R&B sound in a rock song? Or are we, it gives me the opportunity to stay inspired and pivot when I need to, or be like, nah, that doesn't sound good. I'm just gonna, So this template has just a bunch of different sounds and effect chains and routings ready to go. More now than ever. I haven't been using the computer as much. I used to be all mouse and keyboard and drawing the notes, but now I have a MIDI keyboard right next to me here.
Oh wow, yeah.
I have my guitar.
The electronic drum set behind you.
Yeah, electronic drum set. I have my Les Paul behind me. I have my acoustic guitar behind me on the wall. So I like to try and just do it real as much as I can, even if I'm not the perfect player, because I'm not. But there's something about human element when starting a song as opposed to a computer. I can tell the difference. The tracks that I start, the tracks that I start organically versus the ones that I start with MIDI are usually very different. Hip hop, a lot of times I start with MIDI, but everything else I'm trying to get the spark from a live instrument.
you feel more connected to it.
Yeah.
That you played it.
Sounds
right?
better. Yeah. Dude.
It's it feels better. And we were talking about this. Shout out to Pete. But I think we were talking about this with Pete, which is no, it wasn't with Pete. It was with our buddy Dan at the coffee shop.
Right, yeah.
And Selena, right?
Yeah, Serena, yeah.
Both musicians. We were talking about we should throw around that word organic.
Yeah,
as creative people. Instrumentalists specifically, because that's a hot word.
It's coming in fast.
Literally, somebody's not going to buy a certain fruit unless it says organic, right? So why don't we throw around that same word? Like, you should have me record on your song, on my instrument. It's organic.
Yeah, you have to.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds better. It just sounds cooler.
It's a new thing. Not a new thing, it's an old thing, but it's coming back where people want real stuff again. It's coming. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming back, and I love it.
And you have this thing up now called Guitar Rig.
Yeah, because again, I have sounds in my head now, and I'm just trying to make sure I do have the right sounds ready, because I do, and every time I have ideas, I just like to be able to get up and running quickly. So I just like to move stuff around. That's all.
So let's see. What are you gonna build something right now?
I can. Yeah, I'm sure I can. I'm sure there's something in there. There's always something in there.
Well, there's no pressure, of course.
Yeah.
None at all.
The way I roll, I'll show you. Pretty quick process. I like to start with whatever I'm quick on. I usually start with chords or vocals or something, but chords are usually my way to go. Guitar is probably one of the easier ways to play chords.
All right, everybody. You're about to hear Matt produce a song from scratch. You're going to hear fading in and out, though, of different parts of the whole process. And at the very end, you'll hear his complete product. That it's pretty amazing. So enjoy.
So if I pick up the last and see if I could just throw stuff together real quick. I won't record yet. I just want to see some. Maybe I'll come up with something on here and then make it with MIDI. But see, now I have a clean sound. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
So yeah, a little bit of latency, but we can work with it. So I'm just gonna play around with notes until I kind of. Maybe down here. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I like that clean tone. Gives me an opportunity to do a lot of different things. So you see how one little thing can get spark a song for me. So let's just see. It's interesting how this works. See, I like that. I like the sound of that little switcher here. I have enough ideas to start a song.
Sure. Yeah, and that's all you're doing right now is you're...
Yeah, instead of fucking around with my mouse, I'm just doing it on here.
It would be like if you were in a garden, you're just grabbing herbs.
Exactly.
Right. What tastes good? Where do I want to start?
So I like these three.
Yeah.
It's nice. Okay, so now I think I have like a lot of stuff. So now let me kind of isolate what I like. And I did play stuff that I like. So I could kind of just like, if I want to make my life easier, I'll just kind of keep that as a take. because now I'm gonna make like a take lane here, and I'm just gonna drag that down because there's a lot of information in there that I like. If I need it, it's always there. I memorized what I liked, so I'm just gonna do them real quick and then start layering and going over it. So. Okay, I have enough of those, and then maybe I'll do just some of these real quick over here, and then I'm gonna move into other stuff. Let's do down here. Okay, enough there. Okay, so I'm gonna start with these. Just grab a little section that I like. I don't know how good it's gonna sound with latency, but let's see what we could do. I like these a lot more than the other ones, so let's just grab what I like.
Okay, so this is you playing.
Yes, sir.
Playback, right, of what you just recorded.
That's nice. And it's like I said, shitty takes, and I'm doing that for a reason, because right now it's like a sketch pad.
Yeah, you're thinking about the idea.
Yeah, and you'll see how it works. Like I want it to sound bad, so. Okay, cool. So I know I can do lead stuff. Okay, so no. Good. I'll save that for later for time's sake. Okay, so.
Alright, so he's put down the guitar.
I know I hear stuff in my head. I'm good. So that's going to be simple. Alright, so I have chords here. Simple chords. And then I just recorded little shots for later. Okay. Let's see what we can do. I'm at 120, so let's go. Let's comp that real quick. Let's take some stuff. I like that. Okay, so that's gonna be where I start. Okay, so let's just like move this into. I'm gonna take all this other shit and just move it into its own take lane. I have stuff for later if I need to play with it, but for now, let's just for idea's sake say this is gonna be where we start everything. Okay, so. Let's just make sure we're going to use some good reverb, because that's going to be the sound I'm going for. Alright, now we're going to make some magic happen. So let's start doing it.
I like magic.
I'm going to pitch it around until I see if... That's cool. Basic comping, you know, like just comping stuff and getting it locked in. And this, I'm doing it this way to show like you don't have to be a pro at any instrument. So
to explain to people what you're doing is you are stretching the time to fit within the the meter, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and he's able to do this with the waveform of this recording he just did.
Yes.
Using Ableton. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Love it.
Already, I'm interested, right? Like, that could go anywhere.
I dig it. A little bit heavy on the reverb on this channel. Let me back off on the reverb. And, cool. So I like to have a dry channel or a wet channel. So let's back off on that reverb. There we go. That's dope. Okay, I actually like that a lot more. I mean, I have lyric ideas already and stuff, but let's lay down a track.
Okay. So that's you checking out different kick sounds, right?
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's much better. Something with that sample. I didn't like. Yeah, that's dope. That's smooth.
That's good.
Okay. I like that. That's something I've never used before. I don't know why I like that, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Cool. Alright. Just messing around with hi-hat patterns now. So again, I stress the importance of imperfection. Imperfection. That's in my mind right now, is that, and it's like my process is usually parallel to experience, and the whole thing I'm focused on right now in my life is just being okay with imperfection, being okay with not being perfect, being okay with all that. So that for some reason is my natural thing I'm going to in this.
Yeah, it keeps you moving, right?
Yeah, I like this. Okay, so once my drums and percussion are done, I can really like do some. Now it's making me hear things that I didn't hear before, because I hear an end vision, but I also hear something else coming together.
Yeah, it kind of changes as it goes.
Exactly.
Right?
Just little things. That's cool. That little reverse thing.
Yeah,
shouldn't be used as a drum, but it is. Okay, cool. I dig it. Alright, let's just move now.
Woo!
Perfect.
Woo!
So I'm just layering here.
Oh, man.
I want to give myself every opportunity possible to be inspired, so I'm going to do that.
So this is a sample, right?
Yep. jam. You know, I have a melody in my head. Everything's there. So now I pretty much have it all. So let's do some bass. I'll put a sub in for now. I'll probably wind up just playing it in because I didn't make that guitar loop with MIDI. So now that's why I do this, because I used to do it with like the piano roll and the MIDI. So now that forces me to play this in, right? I have to play this in now because I don't know. I don't know what key to be on. I couldn't tell you. I probably played like an E7, E minor 7 or something into like I have no idea. So now I gotta just like find the right notes, you know.
Sure.
I've really changed my approach a lot. So this is all organic stuff.
So you're purposely not thinking about the key.
Yep. So with a low sound like that, it's very difficult to hear the notes. So I'm gonna use something with a little bit more harmonics in it, something more gritty, so I can hear what notes I'm hitting, like that. So I have to find the right notes. Okay, I think that's the notes. Now let's just add some more stuff. Add some piano, figure out what the hell I'm playing. I like that. That's cool. So now you see the pivot. Right?
Okay.
Like now we're
Yes.
gonna go somewhere else. Everything up to this point was used to get me to where I'm going. That's cool. 9 Inch Nails? Yeah. Very 9 Inch Nails.
Yep. It's getting
Interesting.
dark.
Interesting. Not what I had planned. Nowhere near
Exactly.
what I had planned. I didn't plan that.
This is a very important moment
Interesting.
to highlight. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
Exactly.
I
You didn't plan
that.
on it. Here's where you are.
I didn't plan that.
And you're running with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I mean, I could start again and like break it down and rip it apart, but. Yeah, it's nice. So this thing is like a cry, man. This isn't supposed to be lead. It's supposed to be that's just like a cry in the background. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, just to add something that's not there. So let's try and get it. Okay, I have enough notes to play with now, so. So part of what I do is just seeing what notes work, what don't. So now I have tons of stuff that I played, even though it's not perfect. Again, I just want to use stuff to throw, because this is going to be a full arrangement now.
Absolutely.
That's dope.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Just the background. That's dope. Okay, so let's see.
Oh, shit. Wow.
I like it. Melody.
Yeah, man. That's like, that transformed into something that took it to another place. Like now,
Yeah.
I'm thinking beyond a song. Like, I'm thinking beyond a song. It's like this could easily be part of a soundtrack of a movie or a show. Like, you didn't put any limitations on yourself as far as like rules.
No, there's no rules.
Right.
I could make it mainstream if I wanted to. You know.
You could.
Could go that way.
But it also, like, that's what I'm saying. You don't have one. You didn't set yourself up to have one path. Now you have multiple paths you can go down with this.
Yeah, there's too many.
You're loading up Omnisphere.
Yeah, I don't really use it much, but I'm thinking about it for this.
Omnisphere. How would you define what Omnisphere is?
It's a sampler. It's got a lot of like synth/sampler. It's got a lot of hybrid sounds, they call them. So like partially synthetic, partially realistic. Likes to mix the two. All right, so let's do this.
I love that fucking synth, man.
So like a lot of pop music's going darker like this too. So I like people could say you're not doing anything mainstream. In reality, anything is mainstream. Somebody could take this like The Weeknd and just destroy it. Like if The Weeknd sung over something, it'd be like, what the fuck? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. So now let's just give it movement.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's give it some movement here.
All right, so this is an arpeggiator that you have it in, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm curious to see if I want to use it or I want to do something else. So here's where you'd kind of have like, so let's put this in a pop setting, okay? Because everyone's probably more familiar. Okay, I would say first verse right away. Okay, a song like this, you want a vocalist to come right in and do some sort of legato-esque eerie type, something. I don't know. They do something interesting here, right away.
Yep.
Right away. You don't want to wait.
Right away. Yep. I agree.
Do it again. I need to add momentum. Now you'll see, this is all arranging, like with very little you can do a lot. I like changes every 4 bars. Used to be longer.
Okay.
Something needs to happen every 4 bars. So let's grab like another sound. I have lots and lots and lots of sounds that I know are already good. So I don't have to dig through bad stuff, waste my time. I can change sounds later. So let's just grab like...
Ooh.
I'm just going with the vibe, like this is funeral. But if it's unique enough, I might use it as something else. Yeah, I think I like that. Transitioning sound. Yeah, exactly. Woo. So now what I like to do is automate. I'm going to automate right off the bat because the feel of the song lies in the movement. So let's make stuff automate. So let's do that. Open it up. And then it's going to drop back down. And it's going to become another character. So let's do this.
Damn.
This needs to get like, so I like movement, right? So this all needs to like sound like a real instrument and drag out. It's got to be dynamic. I can't just let the synth sound like a computer. I need it to open up, get more legato as it opens.
Sure.
So I need that. Something that I'm learning with synths is that think about how somebody plays a synthesizer. Something's always moving. They're always turning something while they're playing it. It's never just like. So that's I gotta approach plugins like the real deal.
There's no set it and forget it, right?
So let's let that open even more as we go.
Man, dude, this is sounding real good, man.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have expected
it.
You wouldn't have expected it.
Yeah.
See how that gets longer as it opens?
So cool,
That's
man.
what we want.
And it tells you, it's like an emotional narrative.
Yes.
Like meaning you're telling me, or not emotional. I'm sorry. Like you're telling me that something could be coming, but hold on.
Yep.
You're telling me to listen here, listen closer here. You know, yeah. I like that a lot.
Let's pull back and then maybe switch it here. No need for the piano there yet. So this also is going to open. Let's create dynamics. Let's just keep creating dynamics and pulling and tension and release. This is the fun part. Cool, so now we have sort of an intro and verse where I'm going to take it a step further. This is for more experimental artists. I always think about who would I pitch it to. The Weeknd would be my perfect. Honestly, for some reason, this is like The Weeknd. His last album's really dark. Okay. And this would be him. I can hear him singing on this.
Oh, I mean, I can also hear like James Blake.
Yeah, definitely James Blake for sure. So let's just
maybe Imagine Dragons too.
Yeah, that too. Anytime you have those big drums, you can put them in it like that. So let's try something. Let's get it. Sometimes you don't just want everything aggressive. I don't know yet. There we go. Let's see how that sounds. There we go. Yep. Yeah, and then here we
man, that's sick.
Now let's do
I like that.
I'm glad. So now let's do something here. Let's I need to keep it interesting. That's what I'm thinking about now. I need it to stay interesting.
It's very interesting, by the way.
Honestly, like I'm almost done with it. Like I'm just arranging this whole thing. I'm arranging this whole track. I'm pretty much just arranging everything. Yeah.
Yo, this is no joke. The soundtrack to a video game.
See?
Easy.
It's awesome.
But obviously, it could be a song too.
Yeah. And we're gonna make that work by adding something else.
People don't even understand how fast he's working and like what he has to do to make these changes. He's working so fast. I'm watching him do it. It's unbelievable.
Thanks. Yeah, that's really cool.
And you know, for obviously people who listen to this show know how much I love improvisation. I consider what you're doing Like you're real time composing.
Yeah.
This came from nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wanted to do it in a way that I wasn't confident because I like to challenge myself. So, as you can see, I challenged myself to use what little nods I know on guitar because I've been focusing on guitar lately. Just goes to show you, I started a song with guitar, and I'm not yet a guitar player, and it's really cool to see that you don't need a lot. You just need confidence and a good ear. I wouldn't hear this stuff normally, so it's good to have like a singer at hand, basically.
So these are vocal samples, right?
Yeah, sometimes you don't have access to a vocalist.
You also are pretty organized with your sample storage and right?
Yeah,
and file management.
That's what's helping me here. It's huge right
now. That's a whole other thing too, right?
That's the only thing that makes me fast. That's what keeps you fast.
Like you have an idea, but you have to know where to get it.
Exactly.
Right.
That's cool.
Where to get that sound.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yes, whatever you're doing, yes.
Yeah, and now what's also going to happen is the side chain's going to change. The whole track's going to change its breath. We're going to breathe a little bit differently now. We're going to do... So there's a lot more than just a instrument change. The vibe. I'm slowly changing the vibe. You're just like seducing somebody a bit. Very slowly kind of leading somebody somewhere. And then what we're doing is we're throwing it off a fucking cliff. It just hangs. It's like, what? What you don't expect. So let's see what this sounds like. Yeah, it's crazy. Whoa. Yeah, so let's get these drums to hit harder. Yeah. So see, like, obviously, like, pause for a second, right? Like, there's parts in this process where my brain's like, this sucks. What are you doing? This is not gonna go anywhere. You're stupid. The guitar parts you laid down suck. What the fuck are you trying to do here? Obviously, those are all the things that go through my head, but I've done it a million times. So I'm like, no, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
We're going. We're moving.
Yeah, I mean, I am so sure. I'm gonna edit this so it won't be as long.
Right.
But I'm gonna show every important, crucial part in
That's
the set.
the goal.
And from in this process, because where you started from, I bet you any listener would have agreed. What the fuck is this guitar that he's laying down?
Yep.
Where's this gonna go?
Yep.
It's imperfect. It sounds out of tune,
Yep,
right? But you throughout this process have highlighted
I have to practice what
how
I preach.
how much you like think it's important, that imperfection.
Yep.
To just work right through it, because now
that's why I did
this product has come alive.
Yes.
To be something that I didn't think. I didn't even think you would get to this.
You
point.
practice what you preach. That's what I'm saying. Is that like, I want to make a shitty idea and turn it into something. That's.
You didn't intend on this, by the way. Today.
No,
everybody listening, you didn't intend on getting here at this with this particular type of vibe.
There's no plan. What my plan was to start shitty. That was my only plan.
Start shitty.
So I could show that process of like being okay with the shit and then moving.
Being okay with it not being good.
Yeah, take it through the process. So let's see here.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah. I need to be able to...
You're making me want to lay down drums on this.
You can. I'll send it over to you. Because now I get the song. Like, now the song is... Now I get what it's trying to say. I get what it's trying to do. Yeah. You know, it could go any way it wants now. And so, now, like I said, like, there's these pivot moments. Always that happen, you know, and now I give myself that freedom. I didn't commit to anything yet. It was too early.
How about this? Like, I like the two ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you stop it at two ideas like that?
Yeah.
Because holy shit, is that enough? And then you're probably gonna. So anybody listening, he's gonna continue to work on this. This is a thing.
Done.
You know what I mean? Like this is a new, and whatever it is, it's gonna be. You know, it's cool. It's cool where it came from, which is just with no ideas in mind other than I'm gonna pick up the guitar.
Yep.
That's maybe out of tune.
Yep.
And just find something that I go, ooh, I like that.
Completely out of tune.
You know what I mean? And
yep.
Now you're here and you have like a substantial product.
Yes.
That could be immediately pitched to an artist or some sort of like film company, whatever. You know what I mean? It could be anything. It could be attached to. It's got such an attitude and character to it, man.
Right.
So,
the temptation's always to go. Temptation's always to go. What am I trying to say? The temptation is always to go the cookie cutter way and like try to make something that people know already.
Exactly.
I like to arrive upon something people are familiar with, as opposed to just directly go and make a pop track, because you can put elements of it in there. You see, I already started to put more pop-esque, like trap-esque, like drums,
yep.
more modern, you know. But like I said earlier, the music's the most important thing. If I have good music composition, like I said, I like to start from a live instrument. If I didn't start from a live instrument, I would have just, the musicality of this wouldn't be, it'd be like your standard 1-4-5 chord progression, you know, like something really cookie cutter. I don't like to do that anymore. So I have
it's not even a departure
mm-hmm.
from when you switch to the more trap-oriented beat. It's not a departure from what already was in place.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an evolution of it.
Yes.
You know, kind of. It's dude. This is incredibly impressive. I mean, if anybody listening is not like, you should be getting emails from people.
One day.
Like, Matt. I mean, that you showed us enough. Holy shit. Hell
yeah.
And you know, I got to see it too. I got to see you work in
Right.
Ableton, which is very cool. I might save this video, maybe come up with a clip, maybe to post.
Yeah, of course.
Just because like it is very cool to see it.
Right.
Dude, I don't want to have you keep working. We're like hours into this
I just
shit.
saw
Holy
it. Yeah.
shit, man.
Time rips by.
Time flew, man.
Awesome.
All right. Do you have any parting, anything you want to say, anything you wanted to promote, obviously, other than you, Matt Pelosi, and then as a producer, and then the Vault Studios in Boonton, New Jersey?
Nothing to promote. It's just I just trust the process of it. That's my whole thing. I trust the more and more I go on as a human being, I remind myself to trust the process, whether that's with the song or life. It all makes its way through, and like this song, for an example, starts with a really shitty out-of-tune guitar, which is all done on purpose. It shows that writer's block to me doesn't exist, and to me that's like a big part of a producer and a songwriter. They're like, I have writer's block. If I could do what I just did, you don't have writer's block. You're just judging.
That's right.
You're just judging it too much. Like I said, throughout the whole time, my brain's firing off like, oh man, this sucks. You're never gonna make a song out of this, and you just keep plowing through it. So you can't. You can't stop. The second you stop and start over judging it, you're gonna close the computer. You're gonna walk away, and then a song dies. So just plug through it. If you don't want to keep it at the end of it, don't. But just try and ignore the chatter. That's it.
Don't take it too seriously, and then like all sounds are beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Everything is a good sound, meaning like you started getting into this theatrical type sound, and you just followed it.
Yeah.
And then you tried things. I think if anybody's going to take away anything from this is, I guess, Matt, you would agree, like, just try doing it, even if it sounds like shit. Just try it. Because just you trying it is, you're testing your ability, right? Because the next time you try something, you might actually discover something like that wasn't intended that's even cooler.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, which becomes the new direction of the project or the creative session.
Right.
And you obviously, we just heard that completely happened, but you didn't depart too much from it, which is because I've sat next to you and watched you work, and you completely depart.
I'll scrap shit. But this
completely scrap shit. But we'll move on to something better. Yeah, way better.
I've changed the way I work a bit. Because I can, there's probably times where you're just like, this isn't working. And I know when those times are. Or it's like, this is just not a good idea. But it'll lead me to the next good idea. So that could have happened. And it sort of did happen. But I bridged it in a way where you can't really tell. I mean, I put the piano in and then I stopped. Then I deleted the guitar chords.
Yep.
I deleted it completely. But the guitar chords gave me the idea. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
They gave me I changed the chord. I think I used a major, or I did a minor seventh or something into another one. But instead of doing that, I just kept it. I went to a major where I did a minor instead, and it changed the vibe of the whole track. So there's things where I'll toss stuff out because I trust the next idea. So I kind of did do that, but I'm more efficient now than I've ever been. I can just seamlessly change ideas while keeping whatever thing. There's always a spark. I like to keep that intact. It's still there. The main spark of this is actually what's driving it. There's this there's this movement to it that was there from the first note I played.
For sure.
And I kept it. So yeah, without sacrificing that.
Dude, I love this, what you did.
Thanks.
I think it sounds so fucking cool.
Thanks.
I hope I was a cheerleader along the way. There was things where I was like, yeah, do that. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Of course. Awesome.
It was really cool, man.
Yeah, man.
So for everybody, you gotta go check out on Instagram, Matt Pelosi, Pelosi. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yep.
And then you got to check out, all these links are in the description of this, but the Vault Studio 973, it's in Boonton, New Jersey. Okay, please visit these Instagrams at least. Hit up Matt if you want to work with him.
Yeah, I'm working out of there, mainly taking sessions and anywhere. If it's online, if you're far, you want tracks, I could do that too.
It could be remote, right?
Remote, yeah. So of course, it's all about the the process. So, yeah, I'd love to work with people, anyone. So just
Matt also
Instagram.
posts great stuff on Instagram too. Like he'll post
I try.
really, really cool mental health type content that's just very. I just remember the stuff you started posting. I started following those pages because they're really helpful.
It's good to share that
mental
stuff.
health. Broken down mental health concepts that are really helpful, even just throughout the day, to just log on Instagram and see it. It's very cool. He's a great guy to talk to as well, Matt. So, dude, thanks for coming on again.
I'm glad
this
we did
was
it.
like, I feel like I should pay you for this. This was
fun.
what a cool thing to see, to witness. And yeah, dude, you're obviously welcome back on anytime.
For sure.
And yeah, man, dude,
Sweet.
that was cool. That was an education.
Thanks.
All right, listeners, give show Matt some love and the Vault Studios, and badumbizz to everybody. Badumbizz to you, Matt. Thanks again.
You too.